And now, the Big Cheese Show.
Just a little background. Brad left his computer, my house, for the entire weekend. Well, not the entire weekend, but all day Sunday, all day Monday. Now, if you know Brad doesn't live without his computer. I don't know how you even really went about, What did you do yesterday and today?
Watched a lot of TV. Watched the games yesterday. I was kind of shut off. Kind of felt shut off from the outside world. Wasn't getting my news updates and whatnot.
Well, what were you watching?
Watched the Ravens game.
Okay.
And watched Pat Steers and did my Sunday night TV lineup deal after that.
What are you, an HBO guy?
Strictly Boardwalk Empire.
Strictly
I'll
Boardwalk.
watch that now that Sopranos and the Wire is done with. It's pretty much...
what about today? You told me you were watching some NBA TV.
Some classic NBA games, yeah.
I didn't know you really got into that.
I mean, daytime TV is kind of slim pickings, so,
Yeah, see, for me, and I get ripped on this constantly. Name a movie, probably haven't seen it. Brad's gotten very frustrated with me because he's tried to reference certain movies like, let's just say, Back to the Future. Somebody will reference it. I have never seen any of them. Godfather.
That's awful. You just got to take a week off of work and just, hit the red box hard. Hit up the Netflix and just catch up.
Well, if I had your life, Brad, I would be completely caught up. I would have every show up to date. I'd feel pretty content with the way, with basically my TV watching. And, it is embarrassing watch, with the little movies and TV shows and people reference stuff like that. And I've never seen it. I was a type of kid growing up. I was 8, 9 years old, and I was a kid watching SportsCenter 3 times. My parents weren't mad at me for it. I wasn't watching anything, rated R or anything gruesome. I was that guy who caught up on Jeff Bagwell, having 2 home runs back in his Astros heyday. I knew all about it. So, you can tell me anybody can say all they want. Oh, you've never seen this, never seen that. But challenge me to a little sports trivia. Brad and I were actually up in Towson doing sports trivia. I made up the questions kind of on the fly, so challenge me on that. I'd like to know anybody who would be able to do so. Give me a question, see if I can't answer at martiancheeseshow.com. But back to the topic at hand here. It is Monday. Got through the work day. Brad got through the chill day. Mm-hmm. Must be nice. This past weekend, a lot of sports, and we're going to touch on all. We're going to touch on the World Series ending here right now. We're going to touch on college football, NFL. Friday night, I get off the 9 to 5. Brad and I shoot down to Georgetown, my buddy's place. Wild scene. Let's just put it that way. For being a rainy night, pretty wild scene. We get in there. A guy who looked literally exactly like, what's the Jersey Shore character? The Situation.
I couldn't tell if that is his everyday look or that was a Halloween
I
costume.
couldn't either.
Yeah.
Anyway, just to preface it a little bit, we end up chilling with these 3 girls. Dave Steer, Game Day Goods, GameDayGoods.com. He goes, let's start talking to these 3 girls. One actually ends up being the Sigma Chi sweetheart at James Madison. 2 of the other ones, it was one of their birthdays, and we were vibing. And Dave actually pulled me aside and goes, let's go talk to these girls. And normally when I'm put on the spot like that, trying to go talk to women, embarrassingly so, I'm not great at it. But right off the bat, when you say you're my fraternity sweetheart, we got something to talk about. So anyway, things are really vibing here. Things are going well. We're chilling at a bar. I'm talking, we're all talking to women. It's nice. And this guy comes and shoves my buddy Scott right behind. He's half my size, no doubt about it, possibly shorter.
The Situation guy, right?
The Situation guy. And he doesn't let the situation go. There's a little play on words for you. He keeps coming right back, and we're just like, listen, buddy, it's 9 against 1. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants this disaster to happen.
When it initially happened, I was kind of off to the side doing my own thing. Luckily, when I came over, he kind of saw me, realized, what was going on.
Maybe
backed off a little bit.
Yeah, maybe it's maybe it's as we're getting older. He was calling us a lot of derogatory names, and we were really just telling him to
stop pretty quickly once I came over, though.
Well, you didn't do anything physically.
Not physically, but I think I kind of sent him.
Brad, I'm 6'4", 220. Okay, ideal NFL quarterback size. Pretty sure if there was anybody who was going to
get paralyzed.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think so. Well, insulted here. Well, either way, the kid was 9-1. There was.
And I'd take the under on that 6'4", by the way.
I'm 6'3.5". I round up.
Maybe 6'4" in Timberlands.
I'm 6'3.5", and I round up. No one's going to round down.
Well, that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah. Regardless, this guy was causing all sorts of. Wouldn't leave us alone. He ends up just walking away. Finally, 9-1. He couldn't. None of us are getting in any fights at this age. Too much to lose. So he walked away. We end up going. We end up having a great time. We all go back. We hang out at Mike's place there, and I was hurt the next day. No doubt about it. I think Brad was too. And our buddy Scott was with us. We came back here. But while we were there, we went down there and there was a place probably around the 4th inning of the Cardinals-Rangers game. We wanted to make as much of that as we could. And as I called it, going into the series, I am correct. Cardinals in 7, Cardinals 1-7.
Oh, are you looking at me?
I'm looking at you because you were doubting me that I made that prediction in the beginning. People were like, no, you didn't call that. Yeah, I called it. We didn't have the radio show going up yet. I called Cards in 7. I'll hold to that. But it was, what a series. Normally if the Yankees are in the World Series, or like the Phillies, because Brad and I have a lot of animosity towards the Philadelphia Phillies. They're a big name team. A lot of
fans.
Well, we have fans in the Philadelphia area listening to us. So I won't go as far and say that. You're a Met, Jet, Knick fan. I understand where your sentiments come from. And tell Brad how you really feel. Feel free to tee off on him, Philadelphia. Because you guys are a passionate bunch. But I will say this, there wasn't really anything like that in this area, not in Baltimore, because in Baltimore you have your mix, you have your New Yorkers, you have your Philadelphians, you have your D.C. people. St. Louis and Texas, not really a whole lot, so, there wasn't anybody that I knew that was a strong fan, but the play spoke for itself on the field. Every game close, maybe not the last game or the 15-7 game, but every game was down to the wire. Tough loss for Texas. I mean, you got to feel for them.
That last game, nothing could live up to that game 6.
No.
It didn't, but yeah.
No. We recorded that night of the game 6. And, here I'm thinking, Texas is going to put this one to bed, and, we're going to have some days, behind here on the World Series coverage. What a night. Well, that game probably ended close to 1, a quarter to 1 or something like that. It was, have you seen anything like that? Cardinals two times down, 2 outs, 2 strikes, and they still find a way to pull it out. I mean, just a heck of a series. I put it above, I said it in the last segment, hadn't seen a World Series as good since the Angels-Giants. As far as I'm concerned, this one's better. No doubt about it, this one's better.